Good morning, Facebook. Bart here from Tactical Canine Solutions. I had a question from one of our new members, Mr. John Wright. Mr. Wright, welcome to our group. Exciting that you're going to pick up your puppy tomorrow. We had the same excitement here last Sunday as our member Jeff got his 7-week-old Malinois puppy, which was exciting for him. So to answer all of your questions, or a particular question is what to do in the first 24 hours, or what to do when you get your puppy home, and how to set that puppy up for success. Well, raising a puppy is an art, and at the same time, not as difficult either. We need to understand a couple of important concepts, and one of them is, where the puppy comes from. So what we need to realize is when a puppy comes home to you, it's very stressful for him. The puppy has lived for 7 to 8 weeks with his litter mates, and he actually just got to enjoy his senses, his hearing, his smell, his eyesight, and for those couple of weeks he has enjoyed play and eating and sleeping and being obnoxious with all members of his pack, and he finally realized, oh, this is where I belong. He got a sense of his environment for a couple weeks because the puppy's eyes open, around 4 to 5 weeks. So the puppy just got to enjoy the environment after exploring that for a couple weeks, and then there we are, taking the puppy away from his litter mates and bringing it into a complete stressful environment, or a complete new environment that for him is extremely stressful. And a lot of people don't realize that, and they don't give the pup the time to get used to that new environment. I see this with a lot of my working people. They have a wish list of what a puppy should be: high drive, good grips, very confident nerves, etc., etc. And then they get the puppy home, and in the first 24 hours, the puppy can either be two things. It goes up and it goes exploring, and it seems like, hey, I'm in a new environment, like the puppy has been in that environment the entire time, or the puppy is a little bit more cautious, and people think, oh, he's maybe anxious, he might be startled by your appearance, or with a couch, etc., and decides to lay back a little bit, and is not so much the explorer. And unfortunately, for a lot of these pups, those pups end up back into the breeder within the first 24 hours, because they said, hey, this pup doesn't have the drive that you have promised me. And unfortunately for them, as that first 24 hours or even week is not a good identification or representation of what the puppy is really going to become. It's got. I always said in the old days, when we had a good litter and the genetics were good, I would literally pick a puppy with my eyes closed and then pick one and say, okay, this is it. The only wish that I had, or is am I picking a male or a female? But then if we would separate the females and separate the males, I would literally grab the pup, and with my eyes closed, and I say, hey, this is the one that's going to be. And even now, with breeders that I respect, that's basically what I want. I say, hey, this litter is good, I want a female, just get me one. Having said that, so the success of that puppy, the success of the first, couple days, or even, his entire life, is completely your responsibility. The puppy cannot make any faults. The puppy does not make any mistakes. If a puppy fails in your house, if a puppy fails to know where he needs to go to the bathroom, if he fails, in who is responsible for his food, that is absolutely your fault. You as an owner are responsible for that puppy. And so lack of patience and lack of insight, where that results in the puppy's failure, or unwanted behavior from you, again, is your responsibility. So before we continue, we need to actually stand still with the first couple of weeks of the puppy's life. And it's very, the example that I like to use is a wolf pack. So when we look at a wolf pack in the first, when a puppy is born, in the first couple minutes to hours, the puppy is going to find the mom and feed. So the puppy is going to breastfeed and realize that his survival depends on the mom, because without her he will simply die. And you see that too in wild packs, that if the puppy can't find the mom and can't find the breast to feed on, that puppy will actually die within hours. So from a young age, it's ingrained in that pup that being engaged with the mom is going to lead to survival. So the other thing that puppies do, and the mom does, is they stay in their very secure area. They stay in their den, often away from the other pack members. And the mom is responsible for basically housebreaking the pup. What is very interesting, though, is in almost all canids, whether it's coyotes or hyenas or, the Canis familiaris, the dog, the puppies are born housebroken. And a lot of people do not understand that. They say, yeah, but I have my pup and it pisses in the house. Well, that is your fault. Oh, the puppy pissed in his crate. Well, that is your fault. Because innate, the puppies are born housebroken, and they don't like to eat and sleep and play in their own feces or pee. In the beginning, however, the mom is genetically wired to help the puppies do that. So what you see is that the wolf, eats the poop and licks up the pee from the puppies in the den. There's a couple of reasons why they do that. An important reason is hygiene. As pee and poop can produce bacteria, so the mom, by cleaning up, is actually keeping that den clean and therefore more hygienic. The other reason why they do that is for predators. Because with so much feces and poop, the other predators can actually be attracted and then jeopardize the safety of the litter and the pack. So while the pup is breastfeeding, the mom is genetically wired, and it's just an innate behavior to protect the pup, and cleaning up is a result after that. So what you will see when the pups are about 4 to 5 weeks old, then the mom will start hunting and start bringing prey into into the pack, into the litter, and then start sharing food. So that does a couple things. So it reduces the dependency from the pups to the mom's breast and breast milk, and it also triggers other behaviors from the pup by having solid food. The pups are getting more mobile. They're gonna start walking around, and it often starts when the pups get in their first teeth. So that's when wolf starts bringing meat into the pack, and that's also the point where if you look at breeders, where breeders are starting to wean off the pups from the mother's milk and starting to feed solid foods or kibble, or some breeders actually do raw food, so that teething, the initial teething process is a trigger for a lot of other steps for the pups. So when those wolf pups are starting to eat and move around, what is going to happen is that they will start defecating and peeing outside the den. They won't pee and poop where they play anymore. The pups are actually genetically wired to keep their living area clean, and they will start peeing and pooping in surrounding areas. And with our pup, that is the same way. So our pups are genetically wired to keep the feeding area and the play area and the sleeping area clean. So when we get our pup, our responsibility, is to provide that, is to provide a sleeping area, is to provide a play area, and is to provide also cleaning up after the pup when he makes a mistake. So puppies in general need to pee and poop after they're getting excited, after they slept, after they had a drink, and after they ate. The puppies, when they're that young, they can't hold their pee long enough, for, like, I would say, a couple hours. They can't physically do that, and they need to let go. So leaving your puppy unattended after he ate or after he slept, is a big mistake, as the dog will pee. So when it comes to providing that safe place, what I recommend is a crate big enough that the pup can lay in a corner, and if he has an accident, that it doesn't piss on itself, but that he can move a little bit and pee on another area. You could put a pee pad in there. However, when we work with drivey puppies, puppies tend to eat a lot of things, and a puppy, when they find something, for instance, like drivey German shepherds, for instance, like socks and underwear and handkerchiefs and all that stuff, and paper towels, and as soon as a puppy finds something, his reaction is, I need to swallow it, and it doesn't matter how long it is. He'll try to swallow a 2-foot towel, or he try to swallow a 3-inch piece of toilet paper. That really doesn't matter for him. Whatever's in his mouth needs to go in, which, if you leave your puppy unsupervised, can be very dangerous. So provide a crate that is just bigger than the puppy, so the puppy can move out of his own pee, and then provide an X pen where that it's big enough that he can play with some toys, but that he also can sleep around. And then at the outside in the yard, provide another X pen and designate a outdoor pee and poop area. So after this studio live video, I will pause the video and go live again and show you the setup that is here set up at our property, that facilitates the potty breaking training from for the pups. So when you come in the house, the first thing that I need to then we would do is let the pup explore a little bit. Just let him explore and never, ever, ever leave the pup supervised. The other thing that we need to do is don't go chase the pup around. Like, let the pup be free for a little bit, in an area that is safe. Like if you have a very open floor plan, by different barriers. And again, I will show you in another live video after this video where I'll do a little tour of my house so you can see what those barriers look like and provide a safe place for the pup. The other thing that I recommend then is making an X pen big enough that the pup can roam around, but again that it's safe, that he can't get into trouble. We need to puppy proof our house before we get the pup into the house. So look for anything that's on the floor. Look for loose electrical sockets, for little ropes for the blinds. For curtains, like anything that the pup can get into, make sure that that's out of the way before you get the pup home. Also, make sure the X pen is set up. You have a crate and you have an X pen set up in the house, in the yard, and that way when the puppy comes in the house, you can focus on the puppy entirely. So that after that puppy proofing, let your puppy explore, and then when you see your puppy try to pee, for instance, don't go yelling at it. Just go to the puppy quickly, pick it up, and then bring it outside in the area where you want him to go to the bathroom. And so now what's going to happen is that puppy is going to get startled. And because of that puppy is going to get startled, he's going to stop peeing while you're picking him up, and then you're going to put him in the outside area. And it's that startling that is an important part in the process. And the reason why is like, oh shit, my survival mechanisms kicks in, what the hell is happening? And then eventually he stopped peeing in the house, and that is the most important things. Just the picking up makes the pup stop peeing or pooping. After you put him in that area where you want him to go pee, there's a really big chance he actually doesn't go to the bathroom because of that starting process. So you need to give the pup, at least a couple minutes to wind down. So I normally let the pup wind down for about 5 minutes. I'll stay around there, and he's in my X pen and he's safe, and then I'm going to watch to see if he goes to the bathroom. If he does go to the bathroom, I make a big feast of it, a big party. I'm going to say, good boy, and I'm going to be happy. Watch out by not talking too loud, as the puppy is just in your house and can be actually startled by your loud voice. Eventually, what I'm going to do is use the same cue over and over, as I like my puppies to go to the bathroom on cue. So I'm going to create this Pavlovian effect from go potty, go outside, go do your business, whatever, and eventually the dog will make those associations. So if the puppy does not go to the bathroom, what you need to do is pick him up and bring him to that same area where you picked him up. Of course, you need to have cleaned up the pee and or the poop. And then let him relax and let him start the things that he was doing. And so what is going to happen is that the pup is going to relax a little bit, and I promise you, this dog will need to go to the bathroom because he was going to the bathroom before you picked him up and hasn't finished. So this pup needs to go to the bathroom. So you need to pick him up again when he's completely relaxed, bring him back to the X pen outside or to the area where you want him to go to the bathroom, and you will see this pup will go to the bathroom. And then again, make a really big make a really big feast out of it. So you do that after he wakes up, after he ate, after he drank, and after you played with him, and observe the pup. So one of the biggest pet peeves people have is that these drivey pups, drivey shepherds, drivey Malinois, drivey Dobermans, even drivey Australian shepherds. They have a lot of innate behaviors in them, that are bred in them over the years from either doing sports, protection sports or personal protection, hunting, whatever it is. And a lot of these dogs, they will chew. And part of this, the reason that they chew is because it's genetically wired in them, but also it's because the itchiness of the mouth and the teeth developing that is going on. So we need to provide something for our dogs to chew on. I love the little Nylabones, the baby Nylabones, and the size that I choose is I look at the puppy's skull and the length of the skull and the twice the size of the skull. That's about the size that I use, and the reason why I do that is to prevent the dog and the pup being able to swallow those toys. And so do provide him a nylabone or something that he can chew on. Watch out for clots or the ropes, the puppy ropes, as once the puppy is able to rip things apart. There is this swallow and choking hazard, or when it's in his digestive tract. These fibers and the piece of cloth can actually cause a blockage, which can result in an emergency vet visit or even a dead puppy. And again, preventing that is your responsibility because the dog is genetically wired to eat and swallow everything that gets in his mouth. So other behaviors, that you will see is maybe barking and chasing and running around and chewing, and we need to facilitate that. So we need to able to play with the dogs. One of the things that I like to do is when I'm outside, or I like to choose a dedicated training area and just sit on the floor with a puppy and just let him run over me and hang out, and that is a social time. So one of the things that I never do is I never go up to the pup and I never chase the pup, but I always let the pup come towards me, and then we hang out. And one of the reasons that I do that is it's important for us to show the pup that you are the leader. And if you go back to, or if you haven't, I strongly suggest you watch the video from Tyrant to Teacher, where I'm talking about the importance of how to become a leader. And a leader is not a dictator. Yeah, don't be a jerk to your pup by showing your leadership by dominance, because that's got absolutely nothing to do with leadership, but just with your own ego problems. But we do need to show the dog leadership, and I do that with my "nothing is in life is free" concept. So the second step, or another step that we need to do when we get the pup, is feed the pup by hand. And again, I have a Jeff coming later this morning, And I will, as soon as he's here, I will go live and I'll show you the hand feeding session that we done with a puppy that, today is 8 weeks, 8 weeks old, and Jeff got the puppy last Sunday. And I'll show you how that is done. And that hand feeding is a very important process. And you do that. What you do is you measure the amount of food the dog needs, and it's very difficult to overfeed a pup. You could always go like a half a cup to 3/4, almost to a cup more than recommended. And you divide that in at least 7 to 10 feeding sessions. Yeah, puppies have a very small stomach, so don't give that amount of food in 1 or 2 sessions because that's way too much, and the bloat risk and blockage risk is huge by that. So we need to feed the pup multiple times a day for short sessions, and then the pup goes back to the bathroom area, and then goes back to the crate, and then an hour later, to an hour and a half later, you repeat this process. So once that pup is in the crate, what's important is that puppies might be howling or scratching, is that you don't pay attention to that. Don't, like, if you have a wife and kids, or a husband or whatever, if you have a partner that has problems with the whining and the barking and the scratching from the pup, just give him earplugs, or tell him to put his headphones on and listen to some music. But don't go interacting with the puppy, as what you will teach the puppy is that behavior, this unwanted behavior, howling, scratching, barking, whining, is going to get your attention and is going to get him out. So what you need to do is wait for it, and as soon as the puppy is quiet for a second, 5 to 10 seconds, then take the puppy out of the crate, and let him out, and then give him his body break. The other thing that's important is, while we having the puppy, is start socializing the puppy in the house and in the car. And by socializing, what I mean is that you instead of putting the puppy in the crate in the bedroom, put the dog in the crate in the car. If you have a garage, I mean, when the puppy's parked on the street, I would not recommend that. But when you have a garage or a driveway that is supervised, put the puppy in the car for a little bit, and then take him out without the car going anywhere. So again, in my Tyrant from Teacher video, this is called de-Pavloving the house. So when we study again Pavlov, we have learned that we need to keep Pavlov as small as possible. So you can start that by moving his leash around, taking his collar on and off random places, having your shoes on in the house, having your jacket on in the house. Don't train with the same clothing on. Put a leash on, take a leash in your hand and move it around, hang it in a different place, so the puppy does not get cued that putting on your shoes is a cue to leave the house. Grabbing the car keys is a cue to go bye, but that these things are neutral, and that is how you can start giving the pup a good example in how to become a leader, and who to follow. The pup is going to learn that observing you is key into be successful around the house. And that is, I think, the first the most important step in the first couple of days in the house when you get a new puppy. So let me see here if you guys have any questions. I see there's a couple people online. I do see Cecilia here. She said Cecilia said at a first-time puppy owner with Lola, the soundproof blanket helped me live with the whining. Yes, I remember I remember that Cecilia, Lola was a dog that had a lot of anxiety, and like soundproofing the crate or the house is sometimes not so much that you are protected from the whining, but that the house and the puppy is protected from any audible stimulations from the outside. So sound blankets work, when you live in a busy city, with ambulances and sirens and, sometimes gunshots, is change your curtains with soundproof curtains. So to reduce the stimulation the pup is exposed to, when he comes into your house. Again, when you bring that pup into the house, it is a very, very stressful event for them. So, you will see that after 2 weeks of, hand feeding and implementing, these tips that I'm giving you right now, the puppy is going to change a lot. So again, I'm going to look here. If there's any questions, please click on the link in the description of the video, and then you can participate into this live show. And then I will see your comments and questions into my broadcasting app here. So when there's no questions, I hope this video will, especially for you, John, will set you up for success. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go offline. I'm going to finish this live session here in the studio, and I'm going to restart a live session with showing you the potty setup and the X-Pen in my house, and then we can do a hand feeding session in a little bit with a 7.5, 8 week old puppy, with Jeff. So stay tuned. I'm going to sign off on this one, and I will see you here in a couple minutes.